I'm Jack Tomczak. That's Andrew Lee.
Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
The show produced, as always, by Lump.
Good morning.
Not as always.
Yeah, not as always.
Andrew.
Occasionally.
Certainly not as always.
No.
We had
Yes.
New Lump in there last week.
New
Yes,
lump?
That's his new name. That's his name.
I really don't like the sound of that.
Hashtag New Lump.
Yes,
I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys weren't here. So you didn't get any input
Yeah, what the
on
hell,
what his new
Andrew?
name was.
Lump and I leave for a week and the whole world falls apart. Do a better job
Yeah.
next time.
Okay.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed
Apparently
for you.
It's all my fault.
Yeah, stop it.
I didn't say. Nobody said it was your fault.
I did just now.
Yeah. That's basically what he's saying. All the terrible news of last week.
Well, I don't.
Somehow
think
because
so.
I was mismanaging the broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case.
Weak
Andrew.
sauce. Oh, stop
I think
kissing
you're
up,
great.
old Lump.
Aw.
At 7 o'clock,
I
third
did
wheeling.
great. You didn't even listen. You have no
don't
idea
know
how I did.
Thompson.
You don't know that.
You have no idea.
Then at 8, State Representative Nick Zerwas calling in. And that is all I know at this point.
Well, that's basically going to be the show. Dave Thompson, third wheeling, starting at 7. We're going to have a quick conversation with Nick Zerwas at 8 because he actually made some news outside this show.
How dare he?
Huh?
That his name got mentioned by another media source
How dare
that wasn't this show. That hardly ever happens.
Yeah.
Weird.
We need to make third wheeling more
Come in and break some news.
at least something maybe like we'll give them a nickel. So when they're mentioned in a news story, they have to say Nick Zerwas, State Representative, and third
frequent third wheel
Yes.
on the Up and Adam broadcast.
listener to Twin Cities News
Right.
Talk. Something.
Frequent third wheel.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into the world of depressing shootings and the next segment. But for now, congratulations, Lump.
Thank you.
Tell the listeners what you've accomplished.
My family went and competed in Des Moines, Iowa, at basically the Shetland Pony National Championship show. It's called the Shetland Pony, it's called the ASPC Congress, and we did very well. We had our best year that we've ever had. We won.
Less manure than real Congress.
Yeah.
Go on.
We won 18 national championships with our 8 horses.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And one national grand championship, which was the bigger deal. So.
I don't know what any of that means except for that championship is a good thing.
Right. It was really fun. It was a really good show. It was a lot of fun. I didn't get a lot of sleep, but it was not a relaxing vacation off from work, but it was very, very fun. So.
That's neat. So it's like, is it the Super Bowl of Shetland ponies?
Yes, basically. Yeah. So it was great.
18 national championships for your family. As far as families that horse around, is that the most? Is that a lot?
That's
Do people fear you when you show up at pony events?
Well,
What do they just hate you? Like when great.
Well, you
the
know-
Sansevieres are here.
you know that if they hate you, you're doing really good.
So
And
yes,
it-
people hate you.
Yeah.
And, well,
That's
That's what I
It's-
tell myself too.
because you're doing really good.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
clearly, a lot of people must just despise you. How does it feel?
It feels great. Well, and we're really lucky because we do pretty well. We have some ponies that take really good care of us, and they do a good job. And it's uncommon for an amateur, because we're considered an amateur family because we're not trainers. We don't have a trainer that runs our barn and does everything for us. So we definitely, as an amateur family, won the most out of the other amateur families. And the only other barns that won more than we did were trainers that had a dozen or more horses with them, and we only had 8.
People who do horsing without radio as like their main thing, like horse,
Yeah,
they're pros.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
that's their job, is to train these ponies, and those are really the only other people who had more than us. And at that point, it's kind of volume. They had so many more horses; they were doing so many more classes, and they're very talented, and they did a good job. But we did a lot less classes and competing, but we still did a lot better than we expected. So it was fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to win.
It is.
right.
It
Well
really
done.
sucks when you don't win. And I beat my parents several times, which is always good because this is one of my first years in the amateur division. Normally, I've always shown as a youth, and I aged out, and so now I compete as an amateur, and I beat my parents, so it's always good.
Old enough to be an amateur.
Are you going to get kicked out of the house now?
Probably.
Screw you, Sansevier parents, losers. Well done. That's
Yeah,
good.
nice,
you.
nice work.
Thanks.
Andrew, did you win any national championships last week?
God, no.
I've got
No.
none.
Zero.
Okay.
You did survive the show without us, though.
I
which
did.
is
I
good.
did. The show was interesting because on Monday of last week, on Tuesday of last week, because Monday was a holiday. Coming off a holiday, I was lamenting on the air about, oh man, this is going to be such a slow week. I mean, this is going to be.
That's where you did it.
This is going to be,
Jinx it.
we're coming off a holiday weekend, really hardly any news. Conventions are still several weeks away. There's just, there's going
Not
to
gonna
be
make
very
stuff
little
up.
to talk about this week.
Hope you like lists.
So I had a whole week planned of like light, fun, silly stories. I asked Brian Miller to come in a couple extra days. Figured we'd just lighten it up and have a good time, have fun.
Superfluous
Right.
nonsense with Brian Miller.
Yes, and that all obviously
Yeah.
went out. It got thrown out of the window quickly. On Wednesday, we had the breaking news of Hillary Clinton's FBI lack of indictment, no charges recommended from the FBI.
Or forgive me, they said, yeah, pretty much she broke the rules,
Right.
but we're not. If anybody else had done this,
Right.
there'd be consequences.
Sure.
But we're not going to have any of this.
But it's Hillary.
Okay.
I'm with her.
Okay.
Hashtag.
On the podium as he's announcing.
Right. So that took over and dominated Wednesday's show, and then obviously Thursday and Friday were dominated by the Castile shooting and the Dallas shootings and everything else. So
And I would have, my wife texted me when it happened in the middle of the night. I didn't check my text. I didn't check the news till 7 a.m., though I was up at 5 a.m. on Friday. As you guys know, radio vacation, you still wake up when you wake up. I would have come in on Friday. I just wasn't aware. So, but I did catch part of that show on Friday, and well done. Good coverage.
Thanks. It was heavy. I mean, there was a couple of really heavy mornings Thursday and Friday. But that's why we do what we do, and we cover
Not
the
because
news.
of the great pay and the great hours. No.
Right. Exactly.
Perks.
You cover the news as it happens, and you go with the stories that are out there. And it was heavy, but it's radio. It's not like I'm out there digging ditches. It was,
We've done that.
I'm not going to complain about having to come in and talk about the news every morning.
All right, and we're going to come back and we'll talk about the news this morning, and we're going to debunk some of the things you're seeing online around the Philandro Castile shooting. Did I pronounce that right? I've been off for a week.
Philando Castile, yeah. And phones will be open all morning if you want to chime in, 651-989-5855. We'll be right back.